Good morning, everybody. Apologies for the slightly late start. The trains have once again pushed us back. So welcome. Welcome to our first face-to-face conference and AGM since 2019. It's fabulous to see you all here, and for all of you to be joining us from home as well, our first hybrid conference as well. So my name is Matthew Carr. I'm going to be one of your hosts for today, and it's my job to give you a few housekeeping bits and pieces as we start the day off. We're not expecting a fire drill today for anybody who's in the room. If the fire alarm does go off, it's a high-pitched shrill, and staff will be on hand to escort you from the building. For anybody who's familiar with the area, it's Lloyd's Bank on New Street, which is where we will meet. We have a photographer with us today. Kirsty's in the room, snapping. I can hear her snapping. She's at the back of the room. Is anybody not happy to have their photograph taken today? If so, can I just have a show of hands? I'm visually impaired, so I can't see, so that's all good. There we go, perfect. That's what I want. Well, lots of laughter today, lots of interaction with you guys. Toilets, if you need to use the toilets throughout the day, we have a disabled toilet, which is at the doors at the back to your left on this level. The males are upstairs and the females are down the stairs. Again, speak to a member of staff if you're not quite sure or you need some assistance to be guided there. Refreshments will be served in our exhibition space, which is the room next door, so the room to our right. So please do take time to go and see the exhibitors there and enjoy your lunch and your refreshments throughout the day. There is complimentary Wi-Fi here, so if you want to log on, it's the Burlington Guest Wi-Fi. You do not need a password for it. So please flood your social media today to tell your friends where we are. We have a hashtag set up, which is hashtag Retina UK Conf, C-O-N-F. So please do tag away. We welcome your questions throughout the day. So we have a number of sessions where you can ask your questions. There's a number of ways you can do that. So if you're in the room with us today, you can either raise your hand at the appropriate time and we'll bring a microphone around to you. Alternatively, if you would like to write your question on a card, you'll find those in your delegate bags, and there's a little post box on the staff table at the back of the room as well. For those of you who are at home, we have enabled the Q&A section on Zoom, so please leave your questions in there and try not to use the chat because we may not see your questions, so the Q&A will be great. Any questions we're not able to get to today, we will follow up after the conference. We are joined by a couple of wonderful BSL interpreters today, so they're at the front of the room, so if you require those services whilst you're here, they are there for you, and for those at home, you should be able to see them on the screens as well. Finally, I just want to say thank you once again. Enjoy the day, interact, ask questions, and I'm absolutely delighted to welcome you as well, our CEO, Tina Garvey. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Well, the train system has completely knocked over my first sentence, which was to thank the miracle of rail travel to get here. So we're going to start somewhere else, but I would like to give a genuine thanks to everybody who's here today, whether you have made the train system, or you've got here otherwise, or you're on the miracle of Wi-Fi, which is what we've all become so dependent on these days, certainly. I'd like to put a special thank to all of our staff and our volunteers and our community for coming together and putting the huge amount of effort it takes to pull a day like today together. I'm also very grateful for our financial sponsors we just can't do this sort of stuff without their support, and that's for Janssen, Procure, Santan and AGTC. We really do appreciate all the support that you guys give us. Retina UK is a unique charity. Not just because we are the only charity supporting and funding research exclusively for the IRD community, but because of who we are and where we came from. 46 years ago, Linda Cantor started something for a group of people where previously there was nothing except a diagnosis, a well-wish, and advice of to go home and prepare for blindness. And she decided to change that, and change it she did. With other members of the IRD community, they came together to start funding research to change the status quo and the search for treatments. And it has been a long and winding road with many setbacks and complications that come along with trying to solve the challenges a group of rare genetic conditions creates. But this community has never wavered, either in its drive or the support of the charity that they created. And it's that same ethos of togetherness, supporting each other, and the charity listening, reacting, and being at the centre of the community that still remains. And that's what makes us so special. That mutual motivation to move forwards that has helped the charity grow over the last half century, resulting in £17 million of research funding and a community that has a voice, and importantly, each other. And we, the charity, in turn, respond to what you, the community, our boss, needs and helps fund. We are entirely committed to listening, supporting, and continuing the search for delivery of treatments on your behalf. And we are still a charity that receives no government funding, and we need your support like we always have. We are your charity, and we rely on our community to support us through sponsorship, fundraising, donations, involvement, and getting us to do what you want us to do. And for over 40 years, you have done an incredible job. You have never let us down, and for that, I will be eternally grateful. As you know, there's no charge for coming to the conference today, nor would we ever wish there was one. We want our events to be open and accessible to all of you. But if you can help support the work we do, please do. You do have a little envelope in your bag for this purpose, or please speak to any of the Retina UK staff in the exhibition area. Visit the website, it's really easy to use, and every little helps. Your continued support makes all of the difference, and it helps us fund more research and be here for all of you. The staff team that are here today in blue polo shirts, if you need one, just shout, have consistently worked so hard on your behalf, and they've planned a really fabulous day for you, whether you are sat online or if you're in the room with us. And it's based on what you told us you wanted to hear about. And as always, I'm super eager to get going, but before I do, I really want to introduce someone to you. Many of you will know that Don Grocott, our long-term chair, retired at the 2021 conference, which we put on entirely online. And what that didn't do is give me the opportunity to introduce Retina UK's, well, new, it says new, but newish, I think would be fair to say now, our new chairman, Martin Kirkup. Martin's going to say a few words of welcome for you today. Enjoy your day, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Tina. And good morning, everybody. It's fabulous that so many of you have been able to join us here in person today, but we're equally delighted that such a large number of people are going to be joining us and following us online. You're all extremely welcome. Now, even though this is the first time that I've spoken to you as chair of Retina UK, I've actually been working with the organisation and the trustee board for a year and a half now. And I have to say that it's been an absolute pleasure and an honour learning about and getting involved in the work of the charity. And even then, the work that Retina is involved in is not all new to me, as I've been fighting for progress on Stargardt's, the disease from which my son suffers, for nearly 20 years. It's been a pleasure to join you here today, and I look forward to speaking to as many of you as is possible in the course of the day. I hope that many of you will also be able to join us at the end of today when we will have a short formal AGM session that I will be chairing. Now, there's no hiding from the fact that we live in challenging times. It seems that no sooner do we start to emerge from under the COVID cloud and we're immediately rained upon by downpours of economic doom and gloom, made significantly worse by events in the Ukraine. Oh, and another wave of COVID, of course. And the sequence of events may be unrelated, and the events may be very different one from another, but the consequences are all the same. Economic stress that greatly affects our ability as a charity to raise funds, stress on health services, and stress on our everyday lives. So what can we do in these challenging times? What we have to do is maintain our focus. Nothing should distract us from our mission to find treatments and cures for retinal dystrophies and to raise the funds necessary. Excuse me, COVID's still with me after a few weeks. Nothing should to raise the funds necessary to support such initiatives. At the same time, we will continue to listen closely to the needs of our community and provide them with the support that they need. We hope very much that you enjoy the sessions that have been put together for you today. So I'm just going to briefly outline what those are. You asked to hear more about clinical trials, and we have a session this morning that addresses precisely that. We will be offering a Q&A session on research. We move on to a session addressing technology for everyday living. And then after lunch, Dr. Mari Thurston will be here to talk about awareness of your own well-being and the tools to manage day-to-day stress. And this session has been put together as a direct response to the requests that we've received from the community. This afternoon's session will be rounded off by a presentation by Tina. She will be talking about how insight and experiences are driving our plans to encourage and fund high-quality research and to better support our community. So it only remains for me to say that I very much look forward to the rest of the day and to meeting many of you in the course of the day. Thank you.